CML runs their 3 versus 3 trios matches and 4 versus 4 atomicos matches under something called captain's rules. It's something they've been using since 1952, something all of Mexico was using at one point. Now it's pretty much CML and smaller promotions that you've never heard of. It's not something used outside of Mexico all that much, or if it does, it's usually not used with the exact same rules. So if you're a casual CML fan or just diving into the match, you may have no idea what's going on, and I will try to explain how those rules work in this video. Every CML trios match has a captain. Each side has a captain. They usually come out as the last person on their team. There's usually a special introduction that they get right before the match starts. They may get a spotlight as part of the introduction. The CML may put up a graphic listing the team members and listing someone as the captain, but they try to do their best to identify who that person is because they have special responsibilities compared to the rest of the team. Each fall in a CML match can end normally under one of 3 ways. Either A, the captain gets pinned. So like you've seen in a normal tag match, someone gets pinned. If it's the captain, then the fall is over. The second way that a fall can end is if the 2 non-captains get pinned. So we said Dawson's our captain here. If Wall and Smith both get pinned, then that's the end of the fall. A third common way that the fall can end is if there's a DQ. And in that case, it doesn't matter who does a DQ, who gets caught, who gets penalized. If it's the captain or non-captain, it falls over at that point. So let's play that out one more time to explain the subtleties of that. DQ, I think you understand, because that's pretty much basic. That's universal. If like White Smith fouls, Chris Bazio falls over, just like it would be anyplace else. Captain getting pinned, that's kind of similar also to what you've seen elsewhere. If Captain Andre Dawson gets pinned, then by anybody on the team, it does not matter if it's Paul Malter, it doesn't matter who's the captain or if it's the 2 people who aren't the captain, still same outcome, falls over at that point. The third way the match could end, as we talked about, is if the non-captains get pinned, but it has to be both of them. If the Brewers beat Jerome Walton, the match is still going on because they have to beat both non-captains. Jerome Walton has to leave the match. If he interferes, he gets involved again and gets caught, that's a DQ. But otherwise, the Cubs can keep fighting until one of those 2 people that are left, either Dawson or the non-captain Dwight Smith gets pinned. 99% of the time, that distinction doesn't matter. What will happen if you watch a lot of CML is that Walton will get pinned, Dwight Smith will get pinned like 5 seconds later. Or they'll get pinned at the same time because the referee will just let multiple people do submissions or pinfalls at the same time. They don't care that much. Once in a blue moon, you'll see a non-captain get pinned, but then the Cubs or this team rally back and they'll pin the non-captain on that side. And then it puts in a sudden death situation where whoever gets pinned next loses it for that team. If Dawson beats Malter or Bazio, they'll end the match because Malter's the captain, so that instantly ends the match. Or Bazio, because it's the second non-captain, gets pinned, that also ends the match. And it goes the other way too. If you watch the AEW CML match from Arena Mexico show, what you saw was one of the non-captains on the CML team get pinned, but you saw a unique finish where the captain on the CML team beat the captain on the AEW team. And even though that meant there's one person being pinned on both sides, since the CML team pinned the captain, that was the end of the match. Being the captain is more valuable than being the secondary people on the team. The rules are the same for 4x4 matches. You just have to beat 2 people. You don't have to beat everyone who's not a captain. And the rules reset in between falls. So if it's a 3-fall match, which most CML trios matches are, then as soon as the fall's over, if Malter's been beat in fall 1, then there's a 1-minute break. Ring girl will come out with the fall sign for fall 2, and everyone who was pinned is back eligible to participate once that second fall starts. And then the process repeats itself. If both sides win 1 fall, which happens 99% of the time, then everyone's still, once the third fall is back, everyone's back in the match once again. So that's how these trios matches work. Maybe watch it again if you don't understand.